Welcome to the Patreon.
Yes.
Welcome to the inner circle.
Gentlemen only.
We drink whiskey.
Yes.
That's whiskey.
Fabulous whiskeys. I got a shotgun in my straw right now, dude. I cracked my straw. I'm trying to find the hole so I can get like a harder rip off.
Sucks. They fucked us, dude.
Although it's kind of nice. It kept me from drinking it too fast. Get a little bit.
This is nice.
Dude,
Moderation.
I apologize in advance, but I do have to fart.
You do have farts going.
I ate pizza last night, man.
You had pizza last
I
night.
had pizza, the cheese. I don't eat cheese a lot. When I eat the cheese, I am ferreting big time.
That's good.
I crushed pizza last night. You know I've been on this bitch ass fucking diet.
No, I didn't.
Dude, I'm doing like a full. I told you I have a man.
Oh, yes.
So I log all my food. I do all this stuff. So
How did she feel about the pedal party?
she told me to log my drinks and I didn't. And then I had to be like, I'm sorry. I had to log the ranch waters. The ranch waters like nothing.
Yeah.
Put it on there. I was like, psh. But no, she gets it. When I have eventful weekends, I say, look, logs went dark. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm still doing my workouts.
Does she get mad at you?
No, she's very. I think it's kind of a like in the fitness world, you can't be too judgy unless that becomes your thing of being like, suck it up, you little fucking bitch. This is what you're paying me for, you little fucking pussy. So you can get guys. They usually target like white collar CEOs who'll be like, get the fuck down. I'm a fucking Navy SEAL, you pussies. Have you guys ever seen death up close?
It's like when Goggins trained Tony Ferguson. Just killed him. The training camp was like, we're going to run fucking 80 miles this morning. Pussy. And the guy got into the ring and was clearly exhausted. It's like, dude, he's dead. What'd you do?
Yeah, no. So I've been on my bitch ass diet program. Dude, I thought I was eating pretty good. I was eating terrible. Once you log it and quantify everything, you go, holy shit. She's like, dude, you eat a lot of salt. I was like, no, I don't. I looked at my numbers. I was like, I'm not even including the salt.
Salt.
Dump all over the food I cook.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I was on no fiber, all salt. Dude, and it sounds so stupid, but I started eating I eat vegetables now like 4 or 5 times a day. Dude, I've been like bothering everyone like, dude, did you ever eat vegetables before?
I had asparagus last night.
Dude.
I got weird smelling piss.
Yeah, it does make your pee smell.
It's intense.
If you eat vegetables, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, after like 3 days, you start to feel like superhuman. I'm telling you, my whole family was giving me shit. I called Billy about it. I was like, yo, you got to start eating. Because Billy doesn't eat vegetables
It would
at
piss
all.
me off if somebody called and said, you got to eat your vegetables.
Hey, man, I was like, Bill, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just telling you. I was like, I don't know if you know about these vegetables, but I've just discovered they're good for you. I wish somebody would have told me this.
I can see how that would bother someone.
Well, he went into like, you're eating fucking Bezos vegetables. I'm like,
Yeah,
bro. He
of course.
hit me with that, which it worked because I was like, yeah, well, you're gonna fucking kill yourself thinking about that kind of stuff all the time. He's like, I take vegetable powder. I'm like, dude,
That doesn't count. That's not real.
I older brother at heart. I was like, Bill, look, man, I tried it all. I get it. Just
I'll tell you,
eat your veggies.
eat your veggies,
dude. Because I went to that chiropractor lady and she spun me out where I was like, I'm like, dude, yeah, I'll eat them with like dinner. She was like, eat vegetables with your breakfast. I'm like, I'm not eating my fucking breakfast.
Ew.
Dude, she goes, I was like, no, I'm
what veggies are you eating with your breakfast?
I just get the giant like power greens. So it's like
Yeah,
kale,
salad,
chard, salad, but it's not like just lettuce. It's like kale, arugula, and then I just steam it with whatever I'm making it. They're just kind of in the mix. But the lady fucked me up.
All right,
dude.
you toss some eggs in there with it, with some kale. All right,
it's like eggs, chicken. Yeah, I mix it all up. But it's all I eat. When I was talking to the chiropractor lady, she fucked me up. I was like, yeah, but it doesn't go with breakfast. She's like, dude, what even is breakfast? And I was like, don't get me started, dude.
Stop, chiropractor
breakfast is a fucking
lady.
psyop. She's right. Breakfast is a psyop. She's like,
course.
Why do you have to eat bread and eggs you don't have to do that. She's like, it's just a made up thing.
Who was that did that? It literally was a psyop.
It is.
Yeah.
I was talking about it before.
Yeah.
So I real quick was like, I know that. I do know that for the record, but it's pretty delicious.
It's like the sausage company or some shit.
Cereal. Cereal. They used to advertise cereal as like it'll help you not masturbate if you eat.
Yeah.
They were like like Kellogg's, and then were like religious fundamentalists who were like.
There was another breakfast psyop, and I think it was like the meat company.
It probably was.
That
like
was just like, you got to eat pork.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Pork bacon. Hell no. Give me that beef bacon.
The USDA made the food pyramid in 92.
That was pure bullshit.
This is before that.
Yeah, this is way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it started with cereal. Maybe I wonder when the meats came in.
Yeah.
They're like, sell these hogs.
Yeah.
It's a decadent Southern billionaire. I got a lot of hogs that need selling.
But how long The English, how long have, I mean, breakfast seems like it's pretty old.
It's not that old though. That's the thing. I think it's like maybe
it's probably pretty
1600s, 1700s.
That's pretty old.
But I think in the frame of man.
Yeah.
How old's breakfast,
So
man?
pants are new.
Huh?
Pants are new.
Relatively speaking.
Yeah.
You know, look, we were hunter gatherers for 100,000 years. I mean, of all the time in the universe, man is but a tiny speck.
Yes, of course.
The term breakfast originated in the 15th century Europe.
1400s.
Yeah, 14.
The daily
I was hoping
ritual.
that would swing the other way.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
swing it to the 16s.
Nobody started eating every morning until the 1600s, though.
Okay, so there was eating in the morning. When did they start like balanced breakfast with like orange juice and eggs and shit? Because they would break the fast, obviously.
Well, orange juice would have been after the
That's
discovery,
way
discovery of the New World.
True. I guess they'll go. What were they doing? Gruel? Because I don't know if it was
think
like
I'm wrong.
because in the colonies you would like slam a pint of ale and like hit the farm. It would be like ale and egg, and the reason eggs became popular, I think, is because of just farming in general. Like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
quick, easy thing. You can grab the chicken, egg, and roll. Yeah, they would like used to drink a beer every morning and just like go work on the farm.
You guys are right. It was Dr. John Harvey Kellogg
Yeah, it was Kellogg's.
When did he do that?
in the late 19th century. In the 1917 article in Good Health, a magazine he edited, Kellogg wrote that breakfast should be made up of easily digested foods in the right proportions and shouldn't be a heavy meal.
So what, like French toast drenched in cornflakes?
Yeah. 15 pancakes.
You should be sick for the rest of the day. So it was about 1800. So we both win.
I think people have always eaten breakfast.
But I'm saying the modern breakfast.
Yes.
Break fast for sure.
But yeah, modern food didn't exist back then. So of course they didn't eat it. They weren't getting a fucking bowl of Kellogg's.
They could eat pig. They had the loin of pig back then in the 1400s.
You can't waste pigs like that every day.
They had the mills
You
going.
gotta save those pigs. You can't just slaughter pigs every day. No. Eggs though, they would definitely crush.
Yeah. Yeah, eggs were probably getting
But like the British and English breakfast are like beans, a tomato, and some eggs.
the worst,
Yeah,
dude.
it's bullshit.
The fucking worst.
It pisses me off so much.
Oh, dude, I get like for real, like I get like violently
a full
nauseous.
fucking like tomato slice.
We're in Australia. I see beans and a tomato on a breakfast plate, and I'd be like, Kellogg's fully psyop me. I'd be
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is that? It's fucking prison food.
Beans
dude.
is a nice start to the day though. You're gonna jar one out.
I get farty.
the
I get
rest of the
super
day,
farty
yeah.
on them though. Yeah, you will. You will definitely
You're
jar
gonna
up.
take big shits, peasant shits, fertilize the field a little.
Ah,
It's a psyop
shit.
to help us fertilize.
True. As you're walking, fuck, shit myself again. Yeah, that would have sucked so bad.
Where did they get oranges? Because I think I was wrong there. That's not a New World discovery, is it?
No, they were in Spain.
Spain has oranges. But
Oh,
maybe
that's
they
good.
got them from.
It's a good question. Florida, the Florida Seminoles.
It says the earliest written record of sweet oranges is from ancient Chinese texts dating back
Fucking
to
knew Chinese
314
people had
BC.
They had sweet oranges?
Yeah, but they said they were also in the Himalayan foothills as early as 8 million years ago.
Damn.
Damn, so Spain didn't have those oranges?
So oranges are Asian.
Dude, for real, I didn't say it out loud, but I was like, that's Chinese shit.
Chinese stuff.
Yeah, I think Chinese people had orange. They had a lot of sweet shit back in the
Don't
day.
they call them like Mandarin oranges?
True.
Yeah.
Bam, there you go.
There we go.
But is that just sweet oranges? What about them juicing oranges?
Yeah, what about the juice and oranges?
We have the sweet, sweet oranges. The earliest writing known to man.
Is corn New World?
Corn's like a totally genetically modified freak from back then.
Yeah.
It like when you look at historic corn, what corn used to look like, it looks nothing like that.
It's checkered.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Dude, it's Lemaire.
Or like black?
Have I ever showed you the original corn plant? Like they just kept selectively breeding it.
Yeah.
Way back.
No,
when.
what did it look like?
Let me see, dude. It's
Corn's New World, yes. Potatoes, New World.
Peru. Papas come from Peru. Do you know that?
Yes.
Dude, the original corn plant, it's a wild grass plant called teosint. Dude, wait till you see how nasty this shit is. Yeah, dude, look at this. I don't know if this is actually the thing, but it's like, dude, it was like a grass. And we just freaked it, bro.
Oh, wow.
We just totally freaked it. Camera, check it out. That's corn. Ancient corn.
That's wild.
There it is, dude. Look at that, bro. Teosint. I want to grow some teosint. I'm gonna fucking
So is that what the engines were crushing?
Yeah, but they started. There was like they
domesticated it.
They fired it up. Yeah, they domesticated it and they fattened it up, and now we took it to another
And
level.
the honks said, "We're gonna get the cob going."
That's if you get real fancy at a store, they'll be like, they'll give you some heirloom fucking corn and shit. This is made with heirloom maize. Heirloom maize.
There you go. Shut up. Give me corn. I don't want any fucking maize.
Told you I've been fucking around making corn tortillas by myself. All by myself.
That's probably really good.
They're so fucking good and they're so easy to make. It's like ridiculous how easy they are.
How do you make them?
It's masa. It's just the dough is called masa, and they add the whatever lime shit to it. You just add water, and you can add a little bit of oil if you want to be able to keep the dough for later. You got to know the plug. No, you show the store. You just got to.
So you buy masa, and that's the dough?
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah. It's that and water. And you mix it up, and you turn them into little balls, and you take a like a small frying pan and just smash them between saran wrap.
Nice.
Dude, they're so good.
Yeah.
Holy shit. But I did eat like 40 of them, and it fucked me up.
That'll do it.
I was like, damn, this might be that old. They might have hit me with that old shit. Dude, they're like dog farts for 3 days. It was bad. Yeah, they're delicious. Super simple, dude. I thought it was like, I thought I had to like sit in the kitchen all day and like roll them out for like fucking tamales. It's like abuela would roll these out for 9 hours. I'm like,
nah.
I'm starting to think it's all bullshit, bro.
The abuelas?
I'm starting to think our abuelas weren't even doing shit back in the day, dude.
Yeah.
She would spend 12 hours on tamales. Like, bro, what?
She was wasting her whole day.
Crock pot and some fucking masa dough, dude. No, it's actually probably pretty labor intensive, but the point still stands. Breakfast, psyop, 19th century.
Breakfast. They're definitely, the Kellogg thing was definitely real.
That's what I was talking about, the specific food group. But yeah, you're right. It was probably not until we had obviously we sat in the material splendor that we know today.
Yeah.
Somehow still disgruntled within. Our ancestors would cry.
Yeah, people are always disgruntled though.
You know, we're being brats. Yeah, for sure, because they were fucked. But yeah, they're always there.
Yeah, but even then, everybody, whenever you're alive, you go, this is the best it's ever been. Our ancestors had it way worse. And why are we still complaining? But they were living in shit too.
True.
I think in the future, they'll look back and be like, holy fuck, those guys lived like fucking dumbasses.
Big time, dude.
That life sucked.
Yeah,
they walked.
We're prehistoric future right now. Yeah, we're absolutely prehistoric future. But yeah, they'll be. But I will say, not having like they had incessant child death,
for sure,
for real starvation. Now it's just like,
I think they handled child death a lot different though. Your kid dies, you go, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
you weren't like,
I don't know. I mean, I guess so. They're probably were. I think they were just depressed forever. I think like your firstborn son would die after 2 years, and you would just shut the lights out.
Yeah, some people. For sure.
I think most people. Yeah. I'm watching Game of Dragons right now, dude. It's so good.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I hated it.
Why'd you hate it?
I hated the first season.
You saw the whole first season?
I saw like 3 episodes. I was like, I'm done with this.
Okay, I actually finished the third episode.
Guess when I turned it off?
What happened?
Black Targaryen. I was like, well, they ruined this. Next. Just a black guy with blonde dreads. Like, I was like, dude, why?
He could have been a recessive trait. He could have gotten the fucking troll hair.
Why the fuck is there a black guy? This is the whitest family of all time.
I will say, black people try to snub Game of Thrones. Not everybody, obviously, but a huge percent of black people be like, nah, that's fucking white people shit. But then as soon as they get the chance, it's all kings and queens.
Yeah.
I'm a king. It's like, bro, turn into some fucking...
Yeah, they would like it. Game of Thrones does fucking rule.
Game of Thrones rules, dude. It's awesome.
I was a day one.
If you can get over that the House Targaryen, I think, or whatever is messing you up, I think it's pretty good, dude.
I didn't like the guy too, the main guy. I thought he looked like a fucking weirdo.
The king's so funny.
Is that the king now? The guy that like wanted to fuck his niece the entire first season?
I'm thinking of the king is the guy who's like perceived as weak, and then there's his brother who's just like a motherfucker.
I think I'm thinking of the brother.
Did you get to the crab feeder episode?
What's that?
The guy who's like nailing people to the thing and feeding people to the crabs?
No, I didn't see him.
Dude, it's actually kind of sick. That episode, it starts to pick up on the 4th episode.
Damn, really? I gave up too soon.
No, I like it. I mean, I was a big GOTH head, or GOT head. Game of Thrones. So I'm kind of enjoying it. I thought they were going to ruin it. I thought it was going to be like,
I hated
because there was like the girl is slated to be the ruler, and I was like, but for some reason I find her to be somewhat believable.
House of Dragons.
House of Dragons.
The guy on the sleazy fucking brother, whoever that is. I didn't like it. I didn't like the cut of his jib.
Daemon. He emerges as a fierce warrior, I think, just in the episode before you gave up, and it's like it's kind of sick.
It's just
the king is the fun. You already thorn in my side. Dare I need more?
To me, it seems like a continuation of what made Game of Thrones suck. Like the first few seasons of Game of Thrones were so nice.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, just lost me. There's so much that I wanted to happen. The White Walkers, nothing.
I know, dude.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
The entire thing, nothing happened.
Yeah. How did they even beat them up? They got
the one girl, the little one, stabbed the main guy in the eye, and they all exploded.
That's pretty bad.
They've waited. It was fucking a decade of me waiting for these fucking White Walkers. They finally show up, and one of them's like, "Ow!"
I know.
They'll explode.
Oh man, you picked the right one. Shit. Fuck. Yeah, that's kind of bullshit. I forgot all about that, to be honest.
There was some really good. The show rules.
Red Wedding, obviously legendary.
Red Wedding fucking rule. Forever. The fucking battle against the weird guy that was torturing Reek.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Really tight.
Jon Snow fucking ruled.
Bastard. There's a sick bastard in this one too, though.
Yeah,
it's a good bastard.
I didn't like Dinklage. I hate that character. Bothered me immensely.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I hated the made up accent. What accent was that?
Midget.
It was literally. It was just a midget.
It was oldie midget.
It made no sense. He's the only guy without he's a made up British accent. Whatever. I like the show.
I'm telling you, dude. House of Dragons is. I'm enjoying it. Also, I haven't watched any TV in a long time. This is like the first TV show I've watched. And at first, I was like, the first episode, I was like, oh, I could fuck this up. And then it was like, wasn't terrible. Second episode, I'm like, all right. The dudes with dreadlocks, I remember, I'll just see that. My brain noticed it, like,
yeah,
whatever. Their hair is white. And then, and then the fourth episode is sick. They have like a real deal battle, and it's like you start to build the Daemon character.
Okay.
Turns out dude's kind of a fucking beast.
I'll give it a shot.
And the dude's watching Kings like sulk. I could watch that all day.
Yeah.
What news do you have for me? Biting at the carcass of my wife. He's getting hammered on wine. The gods have punished me for my indulgences.
Just being hungover.
Yeah. So tight. Never was just fucking playing mind games with him. It's really funny. Sir.
You're Littlefinger.
I do, dude. I love it.
Master.
I am Littlefinger, bro. There is a Littlefinger. He's actually surrounded by Littlefingers the whole time. And everyone's plotting on him.
This is years before Game of Thrones.
Yeah, way back. And then they're like trying to get the black dude with dreadlocks is trying to get him to marry his 12-year-old daughter. Did you see that episode?
I don't know. I watched it when it came out.
Dude, he's explaining it to his daughter, and like he doesn't even bring up the fact that she's 12. Oh no, they're like, you should marry your daughter to your new son, or your old daughter to your new son. And he's like, they're 14 years apart. That's his only objection. He's like, dude, they're 14 years apart.
That's pretty good.
Crazy. It is pretty funny.
Yeah, I saw it when it came out, and I didn't really pay attention.
Must you be a thorn in my flesh? Decadent Kings going through it is just
it's nice.
The absolute fucking best.
King was his name Robert in the first one, the fat guy that gets the main first king. No, Ned was
Robert Baratheon.
Ned was the hand. It was Robert.
Yeah.
Robert was good.
And it's funny for the hand to get supremely offended and be like, my lord, news awaits. Like, your son's a fucking pussy. He's going to die. He just looked at it. It's so funny. Just being able to be like, okay, yes.
Just British.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just British people.
That is tight. I would love to be in that level of society where you're like walking into someone's house and you'd be like, yes. Seville style architecture. How interesting.
You could just be gay. That's being gay. It's just being gay. Yes.
The color scheme. Did this place come with a designer? Did the realtor provide?
God, I love it.
That was funny when Rochefort was talking about how it was like the Super Bowl for him to be in that one hotel and have like the designers and stuff. Dude, he's too funny.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's a motherfucking man. Did you guys swim?
We swam. Chopped it up for a while. It was good swimming.
Yeah, he's a fucking bro.
Speaking of the English, we got the Euros going on. A little European soccer tournament.
Yeah.
Ukraine losing 3-0 to Romania is, just salt in the wound.
That hurts, bro.
Fuck.
Well, at least they're winning that war.
They're definitely winning the war.
Yeah, they're fucking crushing
it. They are having a come up, though. They're getting fucking rich, dude.
Yeah.
We're sending more money over there. Those boys are...
Yeah, I never really thought about that. We can just...
If you're right, so many people are wrong. If you're right, so many people are wrong.
Everyone's wrong. The universe backs me up. You have all these physicists that's saying something different. None of them have introduced a new form of flight.
Has he introduced a new form of flight?
With unlimited mid-air bonding. None of them have discovered 4 supersymmetrical systems. And this is what the collective is able to do when you put yourself into the divine space.
Hearing stuff like this is so scary to me.
There's no government on this planet that has the technology that I have or can outdo what I have.
If you can't hear him speak and pick out that he sounds delusional, that should be a massive red flag for you.
Is this guy like a famous actor? Is that what he's known for initially? He is, right? Oh, he was.
Oh, the Iron Man guy, true. Okay. Does it ever bother you when they change actors so deliberately and they just don't say anything about it in universe? Why didn't they just get a different guy? Why didn't they just like make him a different character? It was seamless in Iron Man. They're not even the same shade of black. What are you talking about? Bro, we went from a caramel chocolatey, chocolate ice cream cone type black man to a straight pure black. No shot. It wasn't even close. These were completely different.
Thing just appeared out of nowhere. How?
We went from this to, oh my God. Stop 60 FPS upscaling videos. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look better. It's not an improvement. Stop doing this. It's stupid. Please stop doing this. God, it is so trash, garbage. Stop. If you have to do anything with a video ever that involves the word interpolation, don't do it. If the frame's not there, the frame's not there. Please, God, stop. Oh, there he is. No, he's actually, you know what? Man. No, he's significantly blacker. Okay, but in this, it's a dark scene. You can't tell, okay? It's different here. Don't take my word for it here. We're aborting this line of dialogue. You're right. Here's them together. Don't get gaslit. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I was right. Thank you. At Pure Cinema. I don't know how it's cinema, but there was this one, and then there was the Game of Thrones swap, where the most egregious, especially because in Game of Thrones there's so many characters. I didn't even know for like 10 episodes if these were supposed to be the same person. I was like, oh, okay.
Because you know how I figured it out? What's 1 times 1?
1 times 1 is 1.
I'm talking about for Dario. People who bring up the mount are dumb. He turned into a zombie. Who cares?
To multiply means to do what? To make more, right?
Yes.
Increase a number?
Yes.
Multiply?
Yes.
How can 1 times 1 equaling 1 be part of the multiplication table? It fails to satisfy the term multiply. It doesn't multiply. Does it? What's an action times an action?
You got some weed.
No, I'm asking you. Honestly, I'm asking reason.
What are we doing
reason.
Wait, this isn't the one that all the dipshits in my chat were screaming at me to go to review a few weeks ago, was it? Because this is 7 months old, no?
Reason. I want you to reason.
I don't know.
What's an action times an action? A reaction. Right?
Okay.
Have you ever seen an action times an action without a reaction? Have you? No. Because equanimity is the currency of the universe. There's always an action times an action having a reaction. So how can 1 times 1 equal 1? How can...
Terrence Howard is like a legitimate genius. Like he's like...
Is it this?
Everything all motion is expressed in waves. All waves are expressed in curves. It always makes spirals.
So because of the concept of gravity and because of the concept of this event horizon, this super point of gravity, this infinite point that light can't even escape, that this exists because of the theory of gravity.
And their math. Remember, they have a thing called zero. They go from 1 to 0 to -1. There is no zero to even think zero.
So do you think that zero is a concept that came along with currency?
It should be attached to currency in that regard, because in physics, it's either nothing remains still. There's nothing still in the universe. There's nothing that doesn't have motion because everything is connected. So if one thing is still, everything that's connected to it has to be still. There can never be one thing still. So as electricity tries to get to its balanced state, right when it gets there, magnetism takes over and it pushes over. So there's this pendulum.
Oh God, this is going to be some schizo shit. I think what he's saying here is technically kind of true, that nothing in the universe is still, although I don't know at what level he's talking about, because technically if there were absolutely no movements subatomically or anything, you would have like absolute zero, which implies a complete and total lack of movement like everywhere, right? Although I don't know if that actually is only classically in physics or if that manifests in quantum mechanics as well. I'm curious. Okay, let's look. Let's read. Absolute zero is the lowest limit of the thermodynamic temperature scale, a state at which the enthalpy and entropy of a cooled ideal gas reach their minimum value, taken as 0 Kelvin. And an ideal gas is a theoretical gas composed of many randomly moving point particles that are not subject to interparticle interactions. I feel like in chemistry I learned something called the ideal gas law. What was that about? I don't remember though. The fundamental particles of nature have minimum vibrational motion, retaining only quantum mechanical 0-point energy-induced particle motion. What is 0-point energy? Is the lowest possible energy that a quantum mechanical system may have. Unlike in classical mechanics, quantum systems constantly fluctuate in their lowest energy state as described by the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Therefore, even at absolute zero, atoms and molecules retain some vibrational motion. Oh, okay. So I wasn't sure if the absolute zero thing was just classical and not related, or not, doesn't go that deep. So I guess, so in a classical mechanically understood system, even at absolute zero, for quantum mechanics, you would say that atoms and molecules still retain some kind of vibrational motion, I guess. But maybe the overall sum of the energy comes out to be zero in a classical system or something. Apart from atoms and molecules, the empty space of the vacuum also has these properties. According to quantum field theory, the universe can be thought of not as isolated particles, but continuous fluctuating fields, matter fields whose quanta and fermions, i.e. leptons and quarks, and force fields whose quanta are bosons. Bosons, right? Photons and gluons. Jesus. All these fields have 0-point energy. These fluctuating 0-point fields lead to a kind of reintroduction of an ether in physics, since some systems can detect the existence of this energy. However, this ether cannot be thought of as a physical medium if it is to be Lorentz invariant, such that there is no contradiction with Einstein's theory of special relativity. There might be 10 different things in this one paragraph that I do not understand. Holy shit. By international agreement, absolute zero is taken as negative 273.15 degrees on the Celsius scale, which equals negative 459.67 degrees on the Fahrenheit scale. The corresponding Kelvin and Rankine temperature scales set their 0 point at absolute zero by definition. I've never heard of Rankine. I've never heard of this scale in my life. It is commonly thought of as the lowest possible temperature, or lowest temperature possible, but it is not the lowest enthalpy state possible, because all real substances begin to depart from the ideal gas when cooled as they approach the change of state to liquid and then to solid, and the sum of the enthalpy of vaporization, gas to liquid, and enthalpy of fusion, liquid to solid, exceeds the ideal gas's change in enthalpy to absolute zero. In the quantum mechanical description, matter at absolute zero is in its ground state, the point of lowest internal energy. The laws of thermodynamics indicate that absolute zero cannot be reached using only thermodynamic means, because the temperature of the substance being cooled approaches the temperature of the cooling agent asymptotically. Even a system at absolute zero, if it could somehow be achieved, would still possess quantum mechanical 0-point energy. The energy of its ground state at absolute zero, the kinetic energy of the ground state, cannot be removed. Scientists and technologists, that's a word, routinely achieve temperatures close to absolute zero where matter exhibits quantum effects such as Bose-Einstein condensate, superconductivity, and superfluidity.
Right when it gets there, magnetism takes over and it pushes over. So there's this pendulum. And as soon as it gets to this state, it bounces off that other noble gas and it makes its way all the way back over here and it's about to have equanimity. And then it takes over and it pushes over. So there's this pendulum. And as soon as it gets to this state, it bounces off that other noble gas and it makes its way all the way back over here and it's about to have equanimity. And then it gets pulled back into the other direction. And that's the breathing in and breathing out and the pendulum effect that we've all observed in natural phenomena in the universe.
And that's a part of everything.
Everything behaves that way. Every one of our cells. Comes down to our cells are made up of water, mostly water, 80%, 90% water somewhere. Water is hydrogen. Hydrogen has 12 vortices. That's behaving with it. 12.
Wait, I'm actually curious. I've never actually questioned that before. When people say that humans are made up of like 80%, 70% water, what does that actually mean? It's not actually like H2O, is it? Are they talking about like the complicated like polycarbon chains that have H2O in it, or do they mean like just like straight out water? When they say that the human body is made of 70% water, do they mean actual H2O water or just liquid in general? They mean actual water. Think of soda, it's predominantly water, right? However, it's got plenty of stuff dissolved in it. Cells are, and this is simplifying a lot, basically water balloons filled with soda. You've got a membrane which keeps all of the soda in. The soda is mostly water with the proteins and stuff your body needs dissolved into it. Oh, so like the inside of a cell, like the cytoplasm of a cell is mainly just water with other stuff floating in it. In cell biology, the cytoplasm describes all material within a eukaryotic cell enclosed by the cell membrane. Does this just mean that it has a membrane? Is that the difference? Eukaryotes constitute the domain of organisms whose cells have a membrane-bound nucleus. Oh, okay. So their DNA doesn't just float like a crazy guy all around the cell. Closed by the cell membrane, except for the cell nucleus. The material inside the nucleus and contained within the nuclear membrane is termed the nucleoplasm. The main components of the cytoplasm are the cytosol, a gel-like substance, the organelles, the cell's internal substructures, and various cytoplasmic inclusions. The cytoplasm is about 80% water and is usually colorless. Oh, okay. So that's like, and that would be the majority of our body, so. When researching into things, do you begin to have a lot of respect for these people who have conceptualized these phenomenon? It is one thing to read, study, and learn these concepts, but at one point they never even existed. Yeah, it's kind of cute. Like the germ theory of cells. Wait.
Opposing hydrogen has 12 vortices. That's behaving with it. 12 opposing vortices.
So what, in your model, what happens to these suns when they supernova?
Everything gets old and die.
Everything gets old and die. And does everything recompress?
Has to. And you breathe out, what happens to that air? Another plant breathes that air in.
So would this be the universe itself? Would it be galaxies? Would it be...
Everything. Behaves the same way.
So as the sun expands and projects and ejects particles, they expand, they go further and further from the sun, and at a certain point, they come back.
Well, at a certain point, what do they hit? There's other expanding stars
so like waves colliding.
Yes,
and
from the other star systems, they have an expanding. What is the solar wind? They have expanding solar winds.
Mm-hmm.
So,
as you said, anything you know
turn out to be correct. Most won't be, but to get to that point, you need.
You seem to have a different definition of stupid than most of chat. Can you elaborate on it? I thought you've defined it before as an inability to take an. I don't know. I don't know, and I don't even know if I care to define it anymore. I don't know how to explain it. There are some people where I listen to the person, like I don't think that Terrence Howard would ever read something and be like, I'm confused, or like I can't understand this particular thing, or like it's beyond me. I think he would have the ability to read it and integrate it to some extent, but he's integrating it incorrectly because he's insane, because he's crazy. But he's not stupid. When you listen to him speak, he's not an idiot, right? The fact that he can remember like concepts that are this abstract, and then remember how to use them in a sentence, and then remember how to tie them together in a meaningful, even if incorrect way to other concepts, like illustrates some level of sophisticated thought, some level of like intelligence. Now, just because he's not applying them correctly doesn't make him stupid. A stupid person wouldn't even know how to pronounce these words, or a stupid person wouldn't even know how to use these words to sell bullshit. Okay. I'm just watching the rest of this.
To know things like, what has everyone else said about this same subject? Am I repeating someone else's work? Is this a new insight that no one else has had, but has foundations that are authentic or legitimate or objectively true? Am I making a false assumption? Am I making an assumption that someone else has already shown to be false? All of this goes on the frontier of science. Let me make it clear that I'm delighted when I see people with active minds trying to tackle the great unknowns in the universe. It's a beautiful thing that people want to participate on this frontier. What can happen is, if you're a fan of a subject, let's say, a hobbyist, let's call it, it's possible to know enough about that subject to think you're right, but not enough about that subject to know that you're wrong. And so there's this sort of valley in there, a valley of false confidence. This has been studied by others, and it's called the Dunning-Kruger.
So Neil he's correct, but I don't think this is what happened to Terrence. But if you think it's what happened to Terrence, that's fine. But I know this isn't what happened to Terrence. I know that. Okay, I am delusional. I am psychotic, and I have a fixed belief that will never change. This is not what happened to Terrence. But we'll see what he says.
Effect. It's the phenomenon where a little bit of knowledge, you over-assess how much of that subject you actually know. And then when you learn even more, you realize, no, I didn't know as much as I thought I did. So then there's a sort of a lull there. And then when you learn even more, you come back up. Ultimately, learning enough to know whether you were right or wrong. To become an expert means you spend all this time. It doesn't happen overnight. You can't just sit in an armchair and say, I'm now an expert.
Why do people hate on Neil again? Because Neil is a tipper sometimes. He tips a little bit too hard in his random wandering thoughts. Yesterday, I crossed the border and I realized how goofy it was that a line on the map means anything. He just says shit like that. But he seems like a cool guy. He seems like a funny dude. I don't think there's ever been a scandal or anything like bad that's ever been released about him before. Sometimes he tips a little bit too hard. Isn't Neil probably just operating from a position of good faith? Neil is probably operating from a position where he's just evaluating what the guy's saying, right? Whereas my job as a political commentator and as a cultural critiquer, whatever bullshit is, I'm evaluating it on different levels than he is.
All this time, it doesn't happen overnight. You can't just sit in an armchair and say, I'm now an expert. It requires years and years of study, especially looking through journals where new ideas are published and contested. That's what we have learned is the most effective means of establishing that which is objectively true.
Neil was accused of sexual assault and hitting on employees several times. Okay, those two claims are so different. The fact that you would put them both in the same sentence is questionable. Wait, why would you even bring up the hitting on thing? Okay, somebody link me a wiki. During November, December 2018, accusations of sexual misconduct were made against Tyson by 4 women. Takia Ahmet Almat accused Tyson of drugging and raping her, while both were grad students at UT Austin in 1984. Jesus. Was there anything else that like came out relating to these? I don't have time to look into this. We have to do our other Discord anime soon. I'm not gonna be able to finish this video.
Or determining that which is objectively false. Both of those work hand in hand to move the needle on our understanding of the universe. I'm going to read you just my opening line here. It's titled 1 × 1 = 2. So I lead off by saying, this is an ambitious work that is a clear indication of a restless, active mind. Within these pages, however, there are many assumptions and statements that are underinformed, misinformed, or simply false, thereby compromising or nullifying many of the subsequent conclusions you have drawn. That's exactly what should happen in a peer review, out of respect for one another's intellect.
Nice. That is a very nice intro statement. Also, to be clear, Neil deGrasse Tyson has a high level of formal education in, is it PhD in theoretical physics? Let me check real quick. Oh, is it astrophysics? I don't know if theoretical physics is even a thing you can have a PhD in, because I don't. I'm a college dropout retard. As an American astrophysicist, author, and science communicator, I believe he's published some papers as well, right?
Has he not? Maybe he doesn't have any papers published. Sean Carroll does, okay. He's a cosmologist. Isn't that what the Russians call their astronauts? Or is that cosmonaut? What was his thesis on? Astronomy graduate programmer earned a Master of Philosophy degree in astrophysics in 1989 and a PhD degree in astrophysics in 1991 under the supervision of Professor R. Michael Rich, training funding support, doctoral research, enabling us to hire students to help him with the data reduction. In the course of thesis work, he observed using the images of the Kalan-Tololo supernova survey, helping to further their work in establishing type law supernova as standard candles. Okay. He's done real work, is all I'm trying to say, okay?
It opens with a quote from Terence. It can never occur that the square root of a given number, when added to itself, is greater than the initial number squared, for that would expose a loose thread within the fabric of our understanding, a loose thread capable of unraveling the very ground rules of mathematics.
Who is T. Dashan Howard? It could never occur that the square root of a given number, when added to itself, is greater than the initial number squared. Why? I've never heard this before, but I might be fucking retarded. Oh, that's him. Oh, Terrence Howard. Oh.
That's a bold statement. So then I just say, this opening thesis is false. There are plenty of examples of this that if
he quoted himself. Hello, based police. Can we get the based police out here?
Escape your attention. His statement is shown to be false for every number that's less than 1 and greater than 0. For example, the square root of 0.64 is 0.8. 0.8 is bigger than 0.64, and it's a larger number than the original. And 0.64 squared equals 0.4096, a smaller number than the original, to the extent that the next 35 pages depends on your stated thesis.
Isn't assigning their efforts to Dunning-Kruger better than assuming they're delusional? Not that these are mutually exclusive, but one of these is not assuming an immutable mental state. I don't know how to explain this to you, and I don't even care now, because now chat's triggering me too much. When somebody has put in a good faith effort to research a particular topic, and they're wrong on things, you can tell, versus when somebody has come at a topic with a particular conclusion in mind, and then done research and give you their conclusions. You can always tell the difference between these two types of people if you're educated in the field that they're trying to claim like they have some knowledge in. You can always tell the difference. Yeah, you either believe me or don't, I don't give a fuck, but you can always tell the difference. Wet Shadow, thank you for gifting 10 subs.
This fact undermines your claims and assumptions and conclusions. It's not about feelings here. It's about objective reality. So at the time, I considered Terence a strong acquaintance. Then we hung out a bit and had much exchange. We haven't spoken much since then. But go to page 2, and in here, he mentions people who he declares were persecuted because their vision exceeded the myopic view of their contemporaries. And he mentions Walter Russell, Nikola Tesla, John Keeley, and many, many more.
There's got to be like a formal name for the fallacy of science is a liar sometimes. That they do in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. When somebody says like, I think that the world is flat, and it's like, okay, well, that's probably not true, and you're probably retarded. And they're like, people said the exact same thing, when they theorized that the Earth wasn't the center of the universe. And if these other people were persecuted, then maybe you're just persecuting me. Where you say like, because some people were paradigm shifters, or because some people were accused of being incorrect and they ended up being correct, that can be you. There has to be like a name for, there should be like a name for that fallacy. I don't know what it is, but it must be.
Regarding your list of people who have made brave sacrifices, I note that to be a genius is to be misunderstood, but to be misunderstood is not to be a genius.
Oh, true. Wow. Look at that. He did that in one sentence. Yeah, that's what I'm basically talking about. Yeah.
The work of Walter Russell, has eluded any experimental support, and the work of Keeley is generally not reproducible. Science is about reproducibility. I can have the most brilliant, crazy, fun idea ever, and if I perform an experiment and no one else can duplicate that experiment, it belongs in the trash heap. It's me in my own world, thinking I have landed on an objective truth, when in fact I haven't. That's how science works, the reproducibility of results. As for the work of Tesla, much of it had very real value to physics and our understanding of electromagnetism. And that value is duly recognized by my community in the naming of a unit of electromagnetism after him. You can't get more badass than having a unit named after you. Newton has a unit named after him. For example, the metric unit of force is a Newton. Much of the rest of his work was fringe and unrealized, either for violating known laws of physics or for being simply impractical. Just because you do some good stuff doesn't mean everything you ever did is going to be great.
The epic Reddit
the epic Reddit Tesla meme where he invented literally every single possible thing relating to physics, and Edison was just a retard that stole every single possible thing. It's like the ultimate Redditization. There needs to be a name for that. When you Reddit tier something, it happened with that dog shit Oppenheimer movie and the setting the atmosphere on fire too. The Redditization of particular figures in history is unacceptable.
Further affirm that just because an idea sounds crazy doesn't make it wrong. The system of research and publications in peer-reviewed journals has the capacity to spot crazy but true ideas, provided they're supporting by compelling arguments.
Somebody said, at Destiny, they laughed at Columbus, they laughed at Fulton, they laughed at the Wright brothers, but they also laughed at Bozo the Clown, Carl Sagan.
And ultimately supported by experiments and observations. Newton's laws, Einstein's relativity, quantum physics were all revolutionary ideas that appeared in peer-reviewed settings or journals. Meanwhile, most of the work of Russell and Keeley had no such success with their ideas. So I think on Rogan, Terrence said that I trashed those three researchers.
Attack that I talked about Walter Russell and Victor Schauberger and John Keeley and Tesla as the people that I looked up to. So he threw shit on he was like, well, Tesla stuff worked, but Tesla was never really respected and out there.
When I'm just simply stating the fact, I don't think of that as trashing. I think of that as being honest. I mean, I could have softened it, but I don't think that's what people who care about you should do. People who care.
Wait, did I miss something? Because, wait, I'm sorry, because I'm trying to read chat. What I've read so far in this paper was absolutely not trashing. I don't know if Neil has like a lot of formal credentials in terms of teaching, but the way that he phrased this in the paper was probably like one of the best ways that a teacher can give pushback to a student. Starting from a position of like, I think it's really cool that you're trying to like push in this area in a new way, and that's awesome. You've made a few mistakes though, and it's messing up the rest of your ideas here. Let me point that out. That's like the best way of giving feedback to a curious student, like a way to correct them without stifling or extinguishing any genuine curiosity or desire they have in the field. It was in the past, not from the paper. Oh, okay. But maybe Neil might have said ruder things on shows that that I missed.
Such success with their ideas. So I think on Rogan, Terrence said that I trashed those three researchers.
Attack that I talked about Walter Russell and Victor Schauberger and John Keeley and Tesla as the people that I looked up to. So he threw shit on he was like, well, Tesla stuff worked, but Tesla was never really respected and out there.
When I'm just simply
his lack of understanding there, that should give you insight into his mind, right? The lack of understanding there is troubling, because when assuming Neil's not showing us something different than what he said before, what he said there was undoubtedly true, right? Yeah.
Stating the fact. I don't think of that as trashing. I think of that as being honest. I mean, I could have softened it, but I don't think that's what people who care about you should do. People who care will be honest with you about ideas, about thoughts. The world is changing so quickly, and so is everything around us. Unfortunately, we have chosen to remain handcuffed to antiquated and obsolete beliefs. We have put in...
Really, the fact that Neil responded at all should be like an incredibly huge compliment. Like if I were to write some bullshit and I would get a response from a guy like Neil deGrasse Tyson, even if he tore me apart, I would still be honored. I'd be like, oh, thanks, the fact that you even responded to me, I'm grateful.
Enormous amount of faith into the methods and practices of old that are as dead today as the men who propagated the notion that the world was flat. So I say here, regarding your world was flat reference, it's not widely appreciated that the idea of a flat earth predates the introduction and development of the methods and tools of science as we practice them today. Those processes date back to around 1600, coincident with the invention of the microscope and telescope. Before then, truths were whatever seemed right to the senses. Afterwards, and to this day, truth was whatever the verified data obtained by your instruments forced you to believe if your senses otherwise contradicted the data. This fact means that there's no such misunderstanding on the scale of the flat earth in the era of modern science. Obtained by your...
Okay, I don't want to fight. I'm not going to fight with this. We're getting into philosophy of science stuff. The idea that from the year 1600 and onwards, we were epistemically solid in how we practice science, that now we actually have the divine methods of truth and truth seeking, and then prior to 1600 we didn't. I'll just assume that I don't like this. Before the year 1600, truths were whatever seemed right to the senses. I don't believe that was true. I think way back, like the Greeks and people were measuring things like in the sky and doing like complicated mathematical equations to make... I wish I had more examples of this. Who was the guy that like predicted... Weren't there like, was it Galileo? Weren't there really high levels of accuracy of predictions of like where the planets would be in the sky before there were even telescopes, before anything? Like,
Like there were surprisingly accurate predictions for, I want to say even like curvature of the Earth. Euclid, maybe? Yeah, people were sophisticated before the year 1600. In my opinion, one of the big mistakes that people make with children and with old people, like people from hundreds or thousands of years prior, is we assume they're like fundamentally different than us. And they're not. I think more or less we've been the same for at least 10,000 years. But the Maya could predict eclipses, and they were in the Stone Age. The Maya had arithmetically correct predictions, but had no theory for planet and other astral movements. Yeah. But it's a minor thing. Okay.
Instruments forced you to believe if your senses otherwise contradicted the data. This fact means that there's no such misunderstanding on the scale of the flat Earth in the era of modern science. And in multiple places throughout the treatise, he's attaching a number to a physical idea or a physical object. That idea goes way back, by the way. Go back to Pythagoras, famous for the Pythagorean theorem, which we all learned in 8th grade, was it, or 9th grade? Pythagoras was also a philosopher.
Oh, okay, so he is going back. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Tried to understand how things worked. He felt, among others in his group, that if you assign a number to something, the number can imbue that object with certain meaning and significance, which means that if you manipulate the numbers, that you gain insight into the objects themselves, once you've assigned a number to it. There's a lot of that permeates this document, but it's a long disproven approach to the world. Again, there's nothing wrong with a failed idea. Now other people know to not do it. Right? That has value. If we place a candle in front of a mirror, the measurement of light is doubled, is it not? It does.
Galileo was born in 1564. Bro, is that true? There's this whole period of history between like the year like 0 and 1600 that it all exists as a giant blur to me. I'm going to be honest. I have no concept. If you told me Galileo was born in the year 300, I would believe you. I have no idea. I don't know any, like, would you call it ancient European history? He was born in 1564. Okay, just ignore everything I say, I guess. When was like Copernicus born? 1400s. Okay. Yeah, it's called the Dark Ages. True, because I don't have knowledge of it.
Does not measure as only one light source. We actually see two lights. A light meter will show twice the intensity of light. This is false. A one light source. We actually have a mirror. The measurement of light is doubled, is it not? It does.
If we place a candle in front of a mirror, the measurement of light is doubled, is it not? It does not measure as only one light source. We actually see two lights. Well, that's just because there's like a reflection, a perfect reflection. But like you also see reflections when anything lights up at all. That's a reflection of anything, right?
Does not measure as only one light source. We actually see two lights. A light meter will show twice the intensity of light. This
Wait, what?
Is false.
He attacked it so with such vitriol.
Maybe that's too blunt. What else should I say? I'm a scientist. That's what I would tell a colleague. A colleague would then say, well, thank you, and then we go out for beer after, because that's how that works. And there's an old saying, I first heard it from Michael Dell of Dell Technologies. If one day you find yourself the smartest person in the room, change rooms.
True.
I say this is false. The light in the mirror appears dimmer than the source of light itself, for several reasons. Starting with the fact that no mirror is 100% reflective. But more importantly, the candle in the mirror is always farther away from you than the candle itself. So the light meter will always read less than twice the actual value of the candle itself. I will note that from this work, Terence produces art, sculptural art, which I find to be intriguing, even beautiful. To me, more intriguing than beautiful, because
anytime, listen, this is a personal heuristic I've developed. You know, you can believe it or not. Anytime somebody ever starts talking about like fractals or golden ratio or anything like that, I think that's also like a highly, highly, highly sussy shit might be weird whenever people get into that, just as a... It's kind of like when you're reading like anything relating to medicine, anytime somebody says like vitamin C or vitamin D or like super doses of vitamin C or vitamin D, anytime somebody says that, it's always like highly sus you're about to hear some stupid shit every single time. Sacred geometry is a big one. Yeah. Okay, let me use the restroom real quick. I'll play this and I'm gonna, fuck, I don't want to miss this though. That's fair pushback from Neil, but isn't the point he is making is that the mirror is increasing the light by more than the original source? No, it's not. The light is not being increased, right? It's just not as much as being, well, in the form of a mirror, almost nothing is being absorbed by the thing itself. So there are other measurements that you could take of the thing to see where the light is going. A physical object might be absorbing it in the form of heat or other types of absorptions, whereas a mirror is going to be reflecting more of this back out into the environment. But nothing is being duplicated. No energy is being created. Like conservation is I don't want to say obvious, but it's still like being observed in all
manner of whether you're pointing a candle at a mirror or not. Hold on 1 second.
You got to look at it and you keep looking at it. Like, what is that? And what's going on there? I just want to read you my ending comments here. I could not follow the reasoning on these last few pages, but the illustrations that derive from them are beautiful, regardless of how they were derived. My notes have been strongly critical of your reasoning and conclusions. I was candid and blunt out of respect for the energy you have clearly invested.
This is so kind. Like, this is such a nice critique
in this work. But if you're sure that you are still right and that I have completely misunderstood your thesis, then you will need to look for another person to evaluate what you have done and solicit their comments. In any case, like I say above, the images and illustrations in your final pages are beautiful works of art, unlike any I have seen. Best to you, Neil. So, in case people wanted to know what actually went down 8 years ago, just always be cautious of the Dunning-Kruger effect. You put in a little bit of work and you have an idea, and then you think your idea is right, and that Einstein is wrong, and Newton is wrong, and that everybody's wrong, and that all of modern astrophysicists are wrong. That's bold. That's bold. Audacious. Bodacious. When continental drift was proposed, it was like, what? Land masses are moving on Earth's surface? That's a weird...
Hello? Oh, sorry. I couldn't find this chat. I see it. Way at the bottom. Hi.
That's okay.
Weird idea. That's going to be a hard sell. We think there's sort of upswelling of the, yes, locally, but whole continents, well, that's crazy. It would take a few decades until ultimately, when we're mapping the bottom of the ocean, we find that there's a mid-Atlantic ridge that the ridges are separating. It's like bada bing. So the resistance to jumping on the idea that continents move was not because people were stubborn. It was because people are cautious. Any new idea needs to be put through the ringer. That's how science works. You put it through the ringer, every possible test you can. Not just because it happens to look like South America fits with Africa. Any better evidence than that? Oh, wait a minute, fossils matched between the west coast of South America and the east coast of Africa. Not recent fossils, fossils from millions of years ago. That's interesting. Things that make you go, that brought some more people over to the camp. You keep that up, and you reach a point where enough evidence is brought to bear on the question, and then you have a new emergent truth. But at the vibrant energy that goes on at conferences and the contest of ideas, that's how we roll. That's how it works. When Einstein came out with relativity, saying space-time curves, Al, what are you saying? What are you doing? Well, you can test it with a total solar eclipse. So the idea comes out in 1915, it's published in 1916, 1919. We measure light around the edge of a total solar during a total solar eclipse because you can't see the stars during the daytime. You see the light rays bent from their actual coordinate positions on the sky. Sir Arthur Eddington.
Am I just retarded? I see AMA with Destiny, event details, click. What do I join? AMA/debate spree with Destiny. How do I join this?
An astrophysicist provided the first experimental evidence for Einstein's general theory of relativity, which, by the way, was published in a peer-reviewed journal. Crazy idea. The platform to be accepted for the ideas is not social media.
It's at the stage at the bottom.
Joe Rogan. It is not my podcast. It is research journals where attention can be given on a level that at the end of the day offers no higher respect for your energy and intellect than by declaring that what's in it is either right or wrong or worthy of publication or not. I wanted to post this to my website so you can see my comments mixed in with his treaties.
Co-host today,
you got
Joker.
the sense of it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Doctor! Dr. Phil! Thanks for being here, everybody. Here we go! Come
Comedy Store, make some fucking noise. You guys excited to be here? It feels like a good one. The energy is hot. We got my drug dealer in the corner, my blowjob doctor in the back. You guys excited to be here? Thanks for coming out. We got a good one for you. We got a good one for you, Comedy Store. Now look, tonight's show is all about perseverance, okay? Yeah. And what does that mean exactly? Well, Webster's dictionary defines it is going after something, doing it right despite the difficulty and delay of achieving success, okay? Now that could mean you're a tennis player at Wimbledon and trying to dig deep during a match after spraining your twat. Or you might be a fat boy who's afraid of heights, climbing a tree to impress some Filipino OnlyFans model you met on the internet. Either way, you're recognizing, okay, that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going, okay, and the juices get flowing, and the boner for life gets growing. Say it with me. Say it with me. You know what it is. Finish it in your head. That's fine. Now, look, we all have different ways of trying to find that routine, okay, to tackle a persistent schedule of habits. I know for myself personally, when I find myself getting down on the dumps, okay, I tell myself, Phil, it could be worse. Okay, that's how I try to turn things around. It could be worse. I could be an orphan in Des Moines, Iowa. I could be. Stay with me. Picture it. I could be. You know, singing out the window, Fievel style. Looking for a couple of parents to teach me how to sew, right? And I'm constantly embarrassing my friends at the Cheesecake Factory because I'm asking about the gluten-free options. And I've got no parents. I could be that guy. I could also be the leader of a 7th grade skateboard gang who, despite my level of authority, is not immune to the inevitable shade my friends throw me when they talk about titty fucking my mom. My point is, I think there's a way to recognize adversity and step right through it. And tonight we're going to get to the bottom of it. I see a lot of people in the crowd tonight that look like they're dealing with some tribulations. I want to start with you, my friend. What's your name?
Stefano.
Fake name. Let's move on. Stefano, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. What do you manage the Backstreet Boys? Stefano. All right, Stefano, where are you from? Tell the crowd where you're from. Where are you coming from?
Pasadena, California.
I've heard of it. And what? Okay. Do you know that guy?
I do not.
I don't believe you. I think everyone in Pasadena knows something that they're not telling us. Stefano, what do you do here in Los Angeles, Pasadena proper?
Sell real estate.
Okay. And what's going on right now in the real estate game? Are you on the struggle bus or are you crushing it?
It's a little slow right now.
That's what I'm talking about. You think you're doing everything right. You set yourself up for success. You're like, I got Pasadena by the ball sack. I'm selling condos and apartments left and right. I got cokehead MILFs who are looking to scissor inside of a duplex. Too soon? Stefano, how could you turn the ship around? Because times are tough. We're coming off of COVID, Omicron, monkeypox.
Interest rates need to go down.
I think I like your fucking attitude right now, Stefano. But thanks for coming out. How about you gals? You guys look like, you guys are here. You came from Vegas, so where are you from in Vegas?
We're from Vegas, fool.
Am I gonna have to punch a woman tonight? Now, I will not do that because I'm a gentleman, but everyone in here wanted me to do something about what you just said. But I like your mojo, I like your tats, you got a beautiful smile, your tank top fits. You came from Vegas, and first of all, what's your first name? It feels like it's something fun, because you got a tattoo of, you've got a geisha, right? Is that a geisha? Is it?
It is, sir.
Okay, at East Soldier, and what the fuck? All right, you got Ice Cube on your right. Is that Ben Franklin or Queen Elizabeth on your left titty? That's the second time I've asked that today. Who is it, though? Who is it?
It's my grandma.
It's your grandma. Oh. We'll be right back. Yeah. We had to take a break. My condolences. She's dead? Yeah, well, yeah. It'd be weird to put a live grandma on your titty. That's what she said. What's that? You have 2 dead grandmas on both titties. Get the fuck out of here. You guys couldn't see from my vantage point, but she pulled down the left and the right and goes, both grandmas are resting above my nips. Now, that's exciting. Which, did you have a favorite grandma of the 2? Because they both got similar placement.
This one. This one.
This is the better titty. Okay, now break that down for me. How can you have a better titty? It's a little bigger, fair enough. Now, who's your friend to the right? What's your name?
Christina.
Yeah, I didn't get your name, by the way.
Sammy.
Sammy and Christina from Vegas. Are you guys friends? Are you sisters? Are you homies? All the above. And what do you do for work? Because my man Stefano is dealing with some interest rate bullshit. But he's going to get out of it because he's in the negative, but he's looking to get HIV positive as soon as Monday morning. But you two look like you've got a game plan, a strategy, if you will, right? Looking to sink a battleship or 2. What are you doing right now for work?
I tattoo.
No fucking shit. Do you wait, please tell me you only tattoo grandma titties. Okay, and Christine, what are you doing for work? What gets you fired up Monday through Friday?
I work in construction.
That's hot. Are you out there telling people what to build, or are you helping build it? The warranty claims. Yeah, no, my boner already tucked itself back in. Warranty claims. All right, well, look. You're active, and I dig that. You're trying to better yourself, Christine, Sammy. Appreciate you coming out. Now, look, there's somebody here tonight that is dealing with more than meets the eye, okay? And it's someone that's going to come out on stage here, our first guest. He is dealing with troubles more than most regular people. He's on the struggle bus. He's got a one-way ticket to Oops-a-Daisy, okay? He can't help but fall into persistent patterns, okay? But all in the wrong types of ways. He's been in and out of jail, okay, for the last 27 years. He's dealing with drug abuse, anal addiction, Sammy, and but his biggest concern is connecting with the human race that we call people, okay? I want to bring him out, see if we can help solve the puzzle, or at least get that Rubik's Cube to line up. Ladies and gentlemen, straight from the Los Angeles North County Correctional Facility, please welcome our first guest tonight on the Dr. Phil Live Show, Shanks. Make it loud for him. Hey. Yeah, all right. Very rapey. Yep, nobody wants that. All right, maybe she wants a little of it. Guys, one more time for Shanks. Okay. My man.
Yo, what up? Shanks is in the building.
Now, Shanks, you, correct me if I'm wrong, you just got out of jail 2 days ago. You were in prison for 15 years.
Hell yeah.
There's so many things you could have potentially gone away for. We don't need to break them all down, but there's something about you screams, I don't know, doing the popcorn penis trick at movie theaters.
Oh, you know about that one.
Okay. So yes, we also would have accepted.
I supply my own butter, if you know what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right. My kids are watching, easy. Oh, dear
Shout out to my Vegas titty girls right in the front.
Okay. Well, shout out indeed. Now jail jail interests me. I've never been to jail. I've been to jail in Grand Theft Auto, but that doesn't feel the same as what you might have experienced. Is there something about jail that you miss, Shanks?
You ever been raped in the video game?
I have not. Okay, next question. You got any hobbies, Shanks?
Yeah, I like to whittle stuff.
That's what I'm talking about. What are you trying to whittle post-jail?
Well, there's a reason they call me Shanks, But I've been discovering balsa wood lately, making canoes and whatnot.
That's what I'm talking. Okay. And what are you building the canoe for? Is there a purpose? Shanks? It's okay.
Yeah, my pops like canoes.
Okay, I thought it was going to be darker than that. And your dad, is he still with us?
Nah, dog.
Okay. Well, maybe see if Sammy can tattoo his face on your cock. Now,
you got a big enough tattoo gun for that? You know what I'm saying, girl? Come on, man.
Funny stuff. Now, Shanks, it says here in my notes you're from Houston, Texas. Anyone from Houston? Anyone been to Houston, Texas?
Yo, what up? Hey, Stan.
What's going on in Houston, Shanks? Because I feel like you created a pattern of poor choices, and it must have started early on.
Yeah, one time I got in a bad situation where I got in an Eiffel Tower with Paul Wall.
Now, I don't know what an Eiffel Tower is, but I think I know someone who does. Stefano, break it down for us. It's when
a guy is fucking a girl and the other guy is getting his dick sucked.
Okay, I didn't think you were gonna know what it was. I merely was trying to fill time.
You know, it's fascinating that he wants interest rates to go down because every time he opens his mouth, I'm less interested.
You bitch! You bitch! Shanks, that's my man Shanks right there. Don't fuck.
Pull on my do-rag from behind you, bitch.
Okay. It says here you like rom-com, Shanks. Break it down. What do you love about the rom-com genre? Because I think we're all looking for love post-COVID. We're all trying to connect outdoors instead of inside. So is there some in a girl right now, or guy, Shanks, that you get fired up to come into contact with?
Well, I always love Contact coming.
I think I saw them at Coachella a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Contact coming.
Contact coming?
Now, what is Contact coming?
Contact
Hold
is...
that thought. Stefano? What is Contact coming?
Not sure.
Okay, we'll edit this out.
That's right, you bitch. I bet you don't even know what that. Man, I got my grill at Chipotle, dog, all right?
Yo, my man, you mind grabbing him? My man, you mind grab...
That's all you, fam. That's all you.
Fam, come on, grab his teeth, baby. Grab his teeth. Oh, he doesn't want to touch it. Shanks, a few more questions here. You love Harry Potter. It says you worked at Men's Warehouse. And that's the guys that, what do? They put you in suits, but they tell you what? They say...
They touch your dick and say, you're going to like the way you look.
I think part of that's right. Well, Shanks, look, I love that you came out here because there's something about the way you're trying to get better, okay? And I know he's been locked indoors so long that he's missed out on a lot of what's happening outside. So I want to play a game with Shanks. We're going to pull some images up, put them on the screen, and see if he can identify some stuff that he has missed out on because he's been frozen like a caveman in jail for the last 15 years. So I'm going to throw up a bunch of images and see if he can tell me what's that in a game we like to call What's That? All right, Shanks. Let's go ahead and put the first picture up, Steven. Shanks, what's that?
It looks like your pre-cum, dog.
He's right. Next slide, Steven. Okay, I didn't pick these pictures. What's that, Shanks?
Is this the OJ trial?
Close. No, this is, correct me if I'm wrong, this is Magic Johnson telling the world that I think that he's got HPV. Let's go to the next slide, Steven. What is that, Shanks?
I think that's just a bow.
Right. Yeah, it's one of Joe Rogan's bow and arrows. All right, thought that'd be funnier. Next slide. Shanks, can you tell me what food that is? I know you were getting a steady diet of water and other stuff.
I think that's KFC mashed potatoes.
Who else agrees with him? I think it is, yeah. That's pretty damn good, Shanks. For someone that's been out of the loop, you're quite on the inside. That is KFC mashed potatoes. Steven, next slide. What's that, Shanks? And if you don't know, you can poll the audience. Because something tells me Sammy has got a pretty good idea what that is. She had one tongue sticking outside her mouth, and the other one was holding up a peace sign, Alanis Morissette style. Sammy, any ideas what that could be? No idea. My man, what's your name? Luke. Luke, and what do you do here in Los Angeles?
I live in Orange County.
You trying to get jumped, dog?
Hey, chill, fam. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Luke, what do you do in the OC, baby?
Procurement.
What'd you call me?
Procurement.
All right. Procurement. What? I know what that is, but for the audience, what the fuck is a procurement?
I buy software and hardware for video game makers.
You want some more hardware, dog?
Yeah, hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Chill, fam. Sammy, what'd you say?
Cock ring. His cock ring.
Well, I don't know if it's his, but it is a cock ring, Sammy. You're right.
Yo, Cat Von F over here.
Next slide, Steven. Shanks, have you seen one of these ever?
Isn't that a Furby?
Yeah, fucking right. Next slide, Steven. Don't know how you knew that. What's this? So it's a child, it's a little child getting all wet and slippery on a slide in the backyard. And we got an animal looking to snatch up that child.
This just look like a Florida afternoon.
For sure. Any guesses? My man, what's your name?
Steven. Well, Steven. Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Yeah, Steven. Yeah, fuck yeah. What do you do? What do you do here? What do you do, Steven?
Get him, dog.
I like to try to analyze the pictures.
Okay, let's get somebody else that's... No, Steven, you look like an appropriate candidate to identify the item on screen. So let's just try to fucking lock in and grow up. What is that, Steven? Then we can move along.
That's what we call slip and slide.
Hell yeah, or Crocodile Mile if you're not poor, yeah. Next slide, Steven. Okay, well that's obviously a butt plug. Next slide, Steven. We got no time for that. Okay, now this is the final slide, Shanks. What is that? He's been gone a while. It's time to rehash and reintroduce to him some sights and sounds of the universe. What is that, Shanks?
Yo, I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's a pair of conjoined twins that got, I don't know if it happens inside or on the way out, but they get locked up. Anyway, I'm surprised you didn't know what that was. You've been inside so long, you know. Maybe that's because of all the poor choices you've been making, Shanks.
Man, you trying to make me feel dumb because mission accomplished, bitch.
Well, you did it to yourself, coming up here looking all cross-eyed and bewildered, okay? Maybe stop fucking farting around and put one foot in front of the other, wake up with the sun and go to bed with the moon, you piece of shit. You know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. Get the fuck out of here. And guys, one more time for Shanks. Let him hear it. We're going to bring him back towards the end of the show and see if we can turn his ship around. You guys are going to take a quick commercial break and come on back with Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee, okay? We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
We're out of weed. Any ideas?
The Fresh Maker.
Make some noise. You guys having a good time so far? I think you are, and I fucking love that you're here. One more time for Sammy and Christine for opening up. on a Tuesday night. You guys, my next guests are coming from Chicago and San Diego, respectively, okay? You might recognize them from TV shows such as The Office, Dave, Curb Your Enthusiasm, or Mad TV, films like The Dictator, Harold and Kumar, House Guest, and the upcoming Ricky Stenicki coming out soon from the Farrelly Brothers, okay? They've achieved a high level of success on their own with their popular podcast, Whiskey Ginger and Tiger Belly, okay, as long as their massive stand-up tour doesn't get in the way of all of that fun shit. And in 2018, they combined forces, the Slip King and the Red Rocket, to create Bad Friends. Proving once and for all and letting Hollywood know, hey, maybe it's time for a Shanghai Nights remake. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for your guest tonight on the Dr. Phil Show? It's the reason you're here. Let's have some fun. Please welcome Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee. Good, very good. Guys, one more time for Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee.
Thank you for having us.
It's exciting.
Oh, so good.
It's an exciting time.
I'm a big fan.
I'm a huge fan.
I watch your TV on the TV.
Yep. Well, that's a good place to watch it. Bobby, I've never met you live in the flesh, but I've seen you from afar. And you're doing a lot of great things.
Thank you so much.
You okay?
I'm your celebrity. I don't know.
Yeah, you are. And Bobby, you know, you come from San Diego, which is a place I've been to many times on vacay.
Vacay?
Vacation.
I know what it means here.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just I've never heard you say that.
For sure.
Yeah.
And one of the things I love about San Diego is that people do things a little differently, and you're case in point for that, because you came out of San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay, looking like the Korean Where's Waldo. That's what it says here on my notes, so I'm just trying to... But Bobby, what excites me about what you've done, okay, is that you come out guns a-blazing, okay? You take no prisoners, and you hit the stage running. Have you always had that much energy? Yeah. Great. Andrew, when you were 10... Andrew,
what the fuck?
It says here Chicago is where you're coming to us from.
Yes.
Did you ever think in your wildest dreams you'd be at the Comedy Store on a Tuesday in November?
Is that that's the question?
That's it, yeah. Take your time.
Yeah, let me think about it. I gotta tell you, Dr. P.
Go ahead, I can take it.
Yeah.
Most people, when they buy a suit, most people would remove the tags. But not Dr. P. He wants to let you know it's Tommy Hilfiger, baby.
I was hoping you wouldn't notice it.
It's right on your fucking sleeve.
Well, I wear my heart and my tags on my sleeve. TBD, TMI, suck my dick. We'll be right back. Now, you bring up a good point, Andrew, because we're constantly letting ourselves go, right? And you guys, though, have...
Well, you have, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You met where? Tell the fine folks of Los Angeles where you guys met.
Here!
In Los Angeles.
No, here!
Tell them the truth.
The Comedy Store.
We met in Vietnam.
Originally met.
Yeah, when we first
I was
met.
on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie, you know? Napalm.
Sure.
I'm in a bush. Yeah, man. Mow, mow, mow. Right? And then, you know what I mean? We played the Russian roulette. Fun. Yeah, fun.
And we fell in love.
Yeah, and then we fell in love. Yeah. In a foxhole. We fucked in a foxhole.
Please see our new film this fall, Foxhole.
That's a sweet story. I also love that you don't see a lot of friends be able to give and take like you guys do, right? I mean, take Bert and Ernie.
Right? Yeah. They're constantly fighting, but I think deep down they hate each other. Whereas you, Bert and Ernie. Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street.
Oh, Sesame Street.
Yeah, Sesame Street. Bobby, have you ever seen Sesame Street? Yeah, it's made for you guys. Sesame seeds. That was fun. If you're not laughing, I feel bad for you.
Whose team are you on?
Both of you.
All right.
I'm a big Dr. P fan. What are you're comparing us to Bert and Ernie? They're gay like us. Yeah. Well, it's just, I guess I'm always in awe of the fact that you can connect with someone you've never met, right? Because most people struggle with that. Yeah. Because look, we're out and about. Okay, you guys have been in this business a hot minute. Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Dr. Phil?
Does Asia have a Sesame Street?
Great question. Just called Regular Road.
Oh, so Big Bird would be eaten. Yeah.
Peekaboo. Peekaboo.
Yeah.
You're gonna make my mustache fall off. How many Peking ducks can you make out of Big Bird?
Yeah.
Snuffleupagus. Oh, my God, just making sure we got more time.
Yeah.
Now, Bobby, they got a lot of characters on that show. Are you afraid of animals, or do you like creatures? Dude.
Insane. Well, I have 4 dogs and 3 cats. They're in my freezer, barbecue at my house.
That's at Bobby Lee on Twitter. Yeah, it's a stereotype that Asians put cats in freezers, no?
No.
No, let's move on. No. Let's move on. Stefano made me ask that question. You know what I love?
Bro, this guy right here?
Do you know this guy?
I mean...
You know who that is?
That's me in an alternate universe.
Yeah, that is.
Stand up.
Stand up.
What the fuck, dude?
Stand up, turn around.
Holy shit.
Turn around.
Oh my God, dude.
All the way.
That's me in an alternate...
Wow. That's like looking into the future, the past, and the present at the same time.
Be honest. Did you get a fucking perm?
Be honest.
That's not your regular curly hair.
Be honest.
Yeah. You permed it.
Permed it.
Fuck yeah. Are you pubes straight? What's going on here, dude?
He's from Asian Sesame Street. That's Cookie Monster. Cuckoo Monster. Cookie Monster. Fortune Cookie Monster. All right. Dr. Phil, let's get it. Control the show. That's part of the appeal, Andrew. Nobody has any control. Well, and you bring up a good point, though, because being in control of something, Bobby, like owning dogs and cats, whether you're eating them or not, is something that I think everyone has to be in charge of. You got to make sure you're at a point in your life where you can control it. You guys control your careers. You formed a podcast. Yeah.
Great segue.
I'm not done, motherfucker. Look, when I came out here tonight, I said, I want to speak from the heart, because it's not often I do that. My wife, Robin, and I, we fight a lot, okay? Do you guys fight with your significant others or your friends and family?
Yeah, I don't got anybody.
You don't have anybody? Well, let's Bobby's talk about single it. right now. Anybody want some? Who's looking for some Bobby Lee? Slow down, Cookie Monster. You don't get it.
Cuckoo Monster. Look at me. You single, Cuckoo? You're not single? Where's your girl? In the Philippines? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
In the Philippines.
In the Philippines.
Good one, dude.
Good one, you lying She sack talks to of me shit. every day online. I just have to give her $100 every minute. Wow. That's a 45-year-old man you're talking to. Which is fine, but figure it out.
Yeah. But have you met her?
They went to college
together.
What college? Fellas College? Fellas? Fellas?
Velas.
V-E-L-L-A-S?
V-E-L-E-Z.
Where is that?
It's in the Philippines.
Another lie? Listening, Andrew? Another lie out of this guy? What part of the Philippines? Go, what city is it in?
Cebu.
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 That's a real place. I've been there.
It's the biggest
I've been
one.
there.
He knows that. Do you speak the language?
Yeah.
Which one, Tagalog or which one?
Bisaya. It's like
Bisaya, yeah, we know. Don't,
so you're Filipino?
don't talk to us like we don't know.
Yeah.
Have you seen our show?
I used to fuck one. I used to fuck a Filipino. Filipino then? Okay, my bad.
Oh wait, he is Filipino?
Yeah.
Oh, we're sorry.
My man, what's your first name?
Elmer.
His name's Elmer.
Holy fuck! His name is Elmer!
No, it's not.
Yes, it is!
That's
What's
what he
your last
said.
name? Fudd?
It better be or I'm kicking you the fuck out. You better be Filipino Elmer Fudd or we're all canceling the rest of our week.
My last name's Tevis.
Elmer Tevis.
Elmer Fudd.
Elmer, do you smoke weed?
Elmer, do you smoke marijuana? Give him some weed, dude. Dr. Phil, give him some fucking weed, dude.
I got a bag of weed, Elmer. From our sponsor tonight, Turtle Pie Company, San Francisco's greatest supplier of flour and pre-rolls. Should I give it to him? Should I give it to him? There you go. Elmer, a free bag of weed.
Dude, you a clap agent, dude. Incredible, dude. What'd you say?
What's up? Spark that shit. Hey, you shut your fucking mouth, you little twat. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry you guys had to see that. Now look, Andrew, you've been on a lot of TV shows.
Not a lot, no.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Great actor, great actor.
I've recently been really getting into Dave. You're crushing it on that show. Yeah. My man. My man. Now
We just got canceled.
Okay. Well,
thanks a lot, Dr. Phil.
Well, you know what? Sammy will get a tattoo of the show on her titty.
Oh,
she's got two grandmas tattooed.
Whoa. Wait, what is that on your
Let me see your titty.
What's on your tit?
Two dead grandmas.
Those are your grandparents?
Yep.
Your dead grandmas.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, if we're showing tattoos, look at this one.
Yeah.